Illuminate is back. Illuminate is back. What is crack-a-lackin'? Oh, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and click that subscribe button. And welcome to Conspiracy Realist. Well, you know, we drop some of our own theories and, you know, we talk about the ones that are factual now. Yeah, that place, you know, Illuminate, where you hold the key to your release. Yep, I'm Erica Parrótt, and I know you guys are used to this intro thing and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, whatever. Today we're going to do it a lot different because, well, I can do what I want. It's my party and I do what I want to, do what I want to. So today we're going to break down the year 1871, you know, when it all changed. Like, what the happened that it made it all change? Did one word do so much new justice? Did one new document create an entirely new government? Are we living in parallel governments? Who knows? You know, we're also going to recap. I'm going to touch on some crap that happened last week, last show. I mean, not even 24 hours after it was up on YouTube, I felt like somebody's watching me. Yeah, because, I mean, old VS, Vona, we're going to dip into that for a sec. And, oh, we're going to even talk about some of the oppression that's going on in Cuba, because, you know, it has to do with the virus. So they say. So they say. I mean, the audits. Yes, the audits. Oh, God. Please let it be more forensic audits, like all 50 states. Can I get an amen? Amen. 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 All right, sit back, relax. Tony J and I are gonna come at you with a whole lot, and like always, I'm gonna drop you some links in the description. And yep, I've started doing this new thing where I timestamp things. So if you just need to get in quick, get out, well, hit a timestamp. What's up, Tony?
Oh, I'm enjoying a nice summer shandy.
Oh, very nice.
Day.
I'm enjoying. It's National Mac&Cheese Day, so
every day is some kind of fucking holiday.
Oh shit, right? I wonder how much we pay the people that sit around and come up with that shit. Oh, there he is.
I am. I've got my go fuck yourself hat on.
Done. You ain't right. Just always stirring the pot. This is why you're my people. Why you're my people. So it's Wednesday, and it feels like a lot has happened already.
Oh my God, this week is insane.
Before we go any further, can we talk about really quick and address this whole Vona Robinson bullshit really quickly? Cleared up for any viewers who may have watched and then went and searched and was like, but she has a picture. Tony, did I cut any of that video? Did I cut any of her Zoom?
Nope.
That was legit me searching online while we were on Zoom, correct?
Well, correct.
Okay. It was like a needle in a haystack. And then magically, the next day, something told me to go look for Vona. Bam! The first thing in the searches was a big old picture of her. Just like, you know, with her executive hairdo. And all this just amazing information that you couldn't seem to find. Just 24 hours before.
I happened to search a little bit yesterday about her.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently, we're not the only ones questioning who Vona Robinson is. Reddit, there's several groups on Reddit trying to figure out who this person is signing their stimulus checks and all that. Who's signing, I guess, refund checks.
Mm-hmm. So it wasn't just stimulus checks, it was also refund checks.
Correct. So it's rather intriguing who Vona, whatever Robinson is.
Well, it's safe to say she's not Melon. So, unless she's married to a Robinson. She's not. You've made it that far.
Well, yeah, I've checked out Mike Obama's brother. He was the Basketball Coaches Association president. And damn it, I forgot again what he does for Joe Biden. I just read it last night.
Oh, so he works for Biden though now?
Yeah, he's been appointed to a position by Biden, and I can't recall what it is. But he's high up in the politics game. I'm going to say ambassador or something, but I just can't remember at the second. My apologies to you.
No, because you know why? We call that a nugget because this is a backtrack portion right here. So that's just another nugget to add onto that tree of your research, people. You know.
All right, Eric.
Something else, because I can't stay on Vona because like you got YouTube blocking my stuff because I reposted that one video and it has yet to post onto YouTube, which means they are blocking third-party content that I try to put from Vimeo over. So, yep, that's all I'm going to have to say about Vona. I mean, because, you know, Big Brother's watching.
I got to know, Erica, did you watch the video of Big Mike dancing on Ellen?
I did. I did. And as soon as it started, I was like, I've seen this. I have seen this. But, you know,
unless she's got her hoochie with like ball bearing pendant earring piercings, I mean, I don't know what else you'd be.
Only thing I could, the thing that kept coming to mind with me was, and it was swinging. Oh, it was swinging.
Like, yeah, walk proud, Mike. That's all
yeah, walk tall. So let's talk about Cuba for a minute because you know, I found it quite ironic. I think I sent it to you, I know for sure, earlier today. The stone-faced reporters from, I think it was CBS Miami, so here in the States, reporting on what's going on, you know, the peaceful protests, and with face as cold as ice and as serious as could be, reporting that everything going on in Cuba has to do with the uproar of coronavirus and tourists being let in.
Yep. That's the story from the government. The TikTok stories are a whole hell of a lot different.
Well, it's funny because, like, that's the only one I came across so far that actually had the balls to sit there and do an entire segment on some bullshit. No twitching, no eyebrow movements, no, just, it's all about the COVID. No, it's not.
Nothing to do with COVID.
They're running around screaming for freedom.
And hello. Food, Erica. They want food. They want health care. All the things the Democrats are trying to control here, they want.
Well, time out now. They have their own vaccine that they're developing.
Says who?
That's what MSM. That's what MSM said.
Well, so Cuba cured cancer? Because the Democrats talk about what a great healthcare system Cuba has. Everybody gets free healthcare. They can't get a fucking aspirin. They can't get treatment for anything down in Cuba because the government controls everything. It's only families in Miami send food to the people in Cuba, and the government takes it during the mail check. So it never makes it to the people. So the cops are the only ones in Cuba with guns. And guess who's shooting who over there? The people protesting peacefully, demanding freedom, holding American flags because they want the same supposed liberties we have.
You know, it's keep going. I'll let you finish.
It's just sad. It's very sad that they have to spend something like that. Now, do you know, if you're from Cuba, you cannot be brought into the United States as, what's the word they use when somebody gets forced out of a country? Not a refugee, but it's something similar to refugees. America will not accept Cuban people. Because Cuban people have truly suffered, just like they won't accept Venezuelan people after the collapse. Because odds are those people will see the socialist things going on and will be more conservative. They want freedom. They don't want to go back to a socialist state. We're in a socialist state. Whether we want to believe it or not, we've been there for a while. Social Security, the welfare, the Medicare, the Medicaid, all that bullshit is socialism. So,
amen. Well,
it's got
it's ironic that these oppressed, highly oppressed countries carry the U.S. flag, because I've always been of the mind and notion, oppression, where there is government, you're going to find some type of oppression. So we make it look good. we make it look good. It's dressed up, but it's still a turd. Yeah, the U.S. Our government is fucked.
The Civil War ended slavery, but 1871 began slavery for everybody, regardless of color.
Actually, it goes further back than that, Tony, because, see, it's funny you brought that up, because 1871 is where we were going to go today anyways and pick that apart to see how that whole act, in all of its glory, what changed. So do you realize the act of 1871 for the District of Columbia, in all of its glory, is just a repeat of something that had happened in 1801?
Right. They already started their own government.
The corporation and the government, those things were already in place in 1801. So 1871 was just basically repeating what was already done. It didn't really change anything. It added some things. It made it more forefront for the general public knowledge. But the United States of America has always operated on corporation slavery rule. Sorry, not sorry. It's the truth.
Truth.
It's all facts. And I mean, it was ironic that you said Cuba and them were just fighting for the same liberties that we have. And it's ironic because 1871 changed words, and changing one word created something completely different. Changing for to of. Who would have thunk it? It created it's something completely different, and it took what we should have, or what we did have, as absolute and unalienable rights, and it turned them into what are now known as relative rights, which means true to a degree. You're free. You're free to a degree. What that means.
But you can't travel without a government issued license.
No, it's no longer without a license.
You have to have government permission. You get married, you got to have a license from the government. You get divorced, the government has to be involved. Every single thing we do, and every damn dollar just off top, I'd lose 28% of what my earnings are every hour that I work, or every dollar that I make. 28 cents goes to the government, state and federal.
Yep.
Why? And some bitches aren't here doing the work for me. They're not shutting my truck doors. They're not backing that trailer in the dock for me. What are they doing for me? Besides raping me every day of money, extorting it from me, and giving it to people that won't fucking work.
Well, now, Tony, you're paying for the roads.
I ain't paying. Ride with me one time in a truck. You'll be pissing blood, or your kidneys are so bad because the roads suck. You don't want to stop on a bridge because you don't know if it's going to fall.
Oh my God. Okay. But you're right. You are correct. So, we're paying for those houses. Everybody's rich has to have more than one house.
Oh yeah. But see, to take the money that we pay in taxes, they don't make our lives better. They give that money to the impoverished and the ignorant. And I'm going to call them ignorant, because if they believe that the government's trying to help them, they're stupid and ignorant. I just sent you a photo from Kayleigh McEnany showing all the stuff the government has done to society in the last 100 years. All the Tuskegee experiment, the Agent Orange, all the radiation experiments, feeding infants radioactive oatmeal just to see what would happen. This is the kind of shit our government does. It's scary.
Yep. But that's what happens when you have unchecked power.
There you go.
You can't give something all the keys to the kingdom and not ever check on it. You really think they're going to be responsible 24/7? Because humans at the end of the day are self-serving.
Best example I can give you that, Erica, the West Virginia Turnpike was finished. It's been finished and paid for twice in my lifetime. And every time they find another reason to keep that money coming in. This time they raised the toll.
So what is it now? What's the price now?
Well, for cars, it's $4 each toll, so $12 one way.
That's right. Okay.
$2.50 one way.
No, the West Virginia Turnpike sucks.
Oh, that's another road that'll have you piss and blood because it just shakes you to death as you drive on it. Terrible road.
But hey, you know, it is what it is, Tony. We're not allowed to bitch because we're free, but we don't have an opinion.
That right? Politicians was not meant to be a career. It's not.
You're exactly right. It was meant to be. You were appointed a figurehead, and you were that one voice that represented a bunch of voices.
Right.
You helped create a snapshot of what was needed.
Those son of bitches up there don't go back and live with the laws they passed. All those laws are for us, the peasants of this country, the little people, us. You all got to live with these laws. We're going to live in our own ways, do our own thing. Why do you think no politicians get prosecuted and put in jail and shit? Every once in a while, they throw one that's really bad. Dude, we can't cover you anymore. Somebody's got to take one for the team. The family's still got plenty of money.
And it's usually never a big fish either. It's somebody that can be sacrificed.
No. It's terrible.
You know, okay, so 1801 is when the District of Columbia has been consistently recognized as a municipal corporation with its own government. 1801.
The city-state. Same as the Vatican, same as London.
Which, you know, it's really ironic because people are like, what do you mean? How can they? Okay, so what they did was think of it as, okay, we'll use Chick-fil-A for an example since, I've got it here on set. We could use any restaurant, but we're going to go with Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that's God's chicken.
It's God's chicken. Woo woo. Everybody gets a day off work. Sunday, So, Chick-fil-A is the parent corp. True Kathy created this amazing corporation. Chick-fil-A is the parent corp. I decide, hey, I want to buy into Chick-fil-A. I buy the name. I buy the idea. I buy access to their suppliers to get their goods so I can make their food under their name. I now own a company that plasters Chick-fil-A, but we're doing business as. We'll always be doing business as Chick-fil-A, but my company's name is something else. So I'm now a sub-company or a child company. But the parent company is still who they are. They are only so responsible for me. But I can never sue the parent company, but the parent company can sue me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The same thing with the United States as us, the people, and the United States Corporation. Corporation is the parent company. Everything else falls underneath it. We can never sue them, but they could sue us. Does that make sense? Do you see how that circle and loophole works? So all the U.S. corporation is one big loophole of companies. It's a parent company with a bunch of other companies, be it Social Security, Medicare, IRS, FBI, DEA. All of these things are subsidiaries of this corporation. And they just kind of all loophole themselves around this nice little conglomerate of the parent company. And it's really crappy because a lot of people don't realize every country is set up this way. Every country has a mirror of itself. When you speak of the UK, you're not actually talking about the country, the UK. You're talking about the corporation, the UK. You're not talking about British Columbia or British England. I'm sorry, excuse me. Great Britain, England. You're actually speaking of the corporation. So the country could become liable for the corporation's debt, but never the other way around.
Corporation never has to pay for the country's debt.
Exactly. But we can incur it because of that slight little name that's the same but kind of different. So they can shuffle it on over, move it around where they need it. It's no different than if you and I are trying to save money and we take our paycheck and we split it up and we put 25% in this account and it's for bills and 25% over here for unforeseen. And then we put 10% up for this and another remaining percent up for taxes. Okay, all of that money is the same amount of money. We just put it in different accounts. We spread out what we can do with it.
Spread it out.
And that's all the United States Corporation is. It is a tree of branches and arms of loopholes that are full of some bullshit that have a whole lot of words in it and commas to confuse you and to keep you from wanting to read it. Because, well, I don't need to understand it. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
It's basically identity theft, what they do on a daily basis.
They own you.
Yeah.
You get a social security number. It's why they fingerprint you, they baby footprint you. All that shit, they own you till you die. Then, in case you left any damn thing for your family, they're going to tax the hell out of that too.
Yeah, even though they didn't tax it once. They taxed it once, but they're going to get you again.
They didn't get it when you were alive. That's their goal, is to get it while you're still alive.
Yep. Because they can get it at a higher rate.
Yeah.
They can tax it at a higher rate. But it's quite interesting. Like, okay, from one of the places that I've been I've been using to do a little bit of research, that I found that breaks down in good definition what they've done with these companies. And I'll put the link in, I'll provide it, but I'll just read you a short little portion. So basically, the United States of America is a municipal corporation chartered by the municipal United States government, doing business as the United States. And that this corporation can't sue its parent corporation without authority of law. Basically, that means that the municipal government has to create specific laws allowing its franchise corporation that does business as the United States of America to sue it. So you got to go through a bunch of rigmarole to sue yourself. So, depending on,
it's easy for you.
Yeah. But here's the thing: they have to go to themselves to make the law to sue themselves. Well, I mean, I'm breaking it as far down as I possibly can. That's basic science. They go see themselves about making a law so that they can sue themselves, so that then they can put it out there in public that they did all this amazing legality shit to do an appearance dance to make the shit look good. But all they did was went and talked to themselves. They went and had a conversation with themselves.
Yeah.
Just so we're all on the same page there.
And that's why they can't work together to get anything done in DC too, man. Because they have to make laws to be able to talk to. Well, we could make farmers' lives. Yeah, fuck farmers. Who cares what they want? Lives harder. So, sorry, I got up to get us shandy. Those are really good. It's hot.
So what are you drinking today?
Leinenkugel Summer Shandy. If you've not tried it, try it. It's a lemonade flavor beer that is just really delicious.
See, I'm just not a beer connoisseur. Like, if
It's
that was
hot.
a wine, I'd be all over it.
That's close. But when it's really hot outside, it's like having country time lemonade. It's nice.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take your word for it.
I promise
Okay.
you. All right, I'm going back to my chair.
You're good. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this little excerpt so nobody takes it out of context. So continuing on. So basically, by creating commercial corporations, that is municipal corporations, in the name of entire countries, the municipal United States government has promoted confusion and fraud, which has allowed it to latch onto the credit owed to entire countries. So basically, China is not China, meaning like capital C and everything else lowercase is not the same thing as capital all caps China. And Great Britain is not the same as all caps UK. These are the entities appearing in all capital letters, and they're in fact foreign municipal corporations with respect to the countries they are named after. Yeah, there is your Wednesday school lesson for the day.
That it's disgusting how deceitful all these countries and governments have gotten. Which is how lawyers all need to go to the bottom of the ocean with a cinder block around their heads.
I got two. I want to line up first.
These people they get up in the mornings and think of how they can make our lives harder, not what they can do to help our lives better, which is what a government servant should do. But they don't do it. It's all about themselves.
I don't even know that it comes from the place of making our lives harder is how they're looking at it. It's a selfish look at it. So what can I do to get more out of it? Which in turn makes our lives harder. But I don't think most of them directly wake up with, how can I I think it's more of a, what can I do to squeeze even more out of it?
I would disagree because you take the likes of Pelosi and Schiff and Schumer, they love seeing misery, man. I think those people try to make.
Well, no, I'm not saying all. I'm not saying all. Because Pelosi's just an evil person. She's a demon child.
Yeah.
I mean, which, according to the Bible, Satan used to be one of his kids. Well, he still is. You kind of can't denounce a kid. You can, but you can't. You can just kind of shun them. Put them in a corner, black sheep their ass. That's Nancy. She's more part of that tribe.
She is an evil, very evil person.
She's very evil. Have you seen anything else about her trying to move parts of the White House police force? Have you seen anything else?
Branch to Florida and California is what she's in the process of doing. And these are the Capitol Police.
Yes.
And the reason she's sending them those places is to take credibly the threats against politicians. Well, first of all, quit pissing people off. They wouldn't threaten you. For the people, pretty easy how that works.
Yeah, it's amazing, right?
And then, but if you're the Capitol Police assigned to the United States Capitol to protect the Congress, why do you need an office in Florida and California? Unless that's just a little gift.
Because that's where
did the stuff we wanted to support. You opened the doors for the quote insurrection. We're going to give you a cushy job down in Florida or California. Which coast do you want?
But they're there to investigate all these threats, and I'm trying to understand why they need one in California. Here's why I don't understand why they need one in California. Isn't it the most liberal state out there?
Illinois is the most liberal, believe it or not. But you get away from the cities in California, those people like going to Plain County. And there's a lot of farmland out in California, a lot of farmland.
It's the same here, and it is. The further, it's like that in most places. You leave the highly populated, over-fantasized, pumped full of steroid city, it's just like anywhere else.
Just real people.
Yeah. Just people trying to live.
They just want to be left alone and government out of their lives. And speaking of government, Have you kept up with any of this audit?
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. I do, but I don't. Like, I haven't had it on the front burner. It's back here simmering. You know what I mean? So I'm
Well,
gonna let you go ahead
actually,
and. I do know
you
that Oklahoma is joining the recount. Did I see that?
bravo. Trump won every single county in Oklahoma, and I'm glad somebody's going to show the results. And if it turns out that Biden won more counties, good, give it to Biden. But show 100% truth that it was a fair and honest election.
You know, and everybody's up in arms still. And you got people trying to stop it and block it. And I don't understand that mentality, because if you're not guilty, then sit the fuck back. What's the harm in a forensic account?
Yeah.
Oh, that's because in a forensic account, that's no different than a female going to the gynecologist. They gonna get all up in your shit. They breaking it down. They're not just counting that, hey, there was X amount of ballots. They're looking, was X amount of ballots valid? Out of those 24 that definitely were there, are all 24 real? Are all 24 alive? Are all 24 legal? Is one not a dog? Oh, look at that. Only 2 are real.
They did.
That's what a forensic audit does. Yeah. It
Those
breaks
are things. The best
everything down.
I've seen for forensic audit was the apple story. The guy said, you got 20 apples. Yeah, recount. Yep, there's 20 apples. That's all recount does. It just confirms there's 20 apples. Forensic audit goes in and looks at every single apple. Well, now they find out that 5 of those apples are just painted plastic apples. 4 are oranges painted like an apple. That kind of stuff, but they're not real. All the stuff. If you don't know, the true ballots for the United States have watermarks on them. That
now, I thought that was a myth.
Well, why was they scanning all those ballots in Arizona with ultraviolet light? If it's a myth. Not a myth. True story.
Just saying. I'm just, keeping a fair balance.
Well, I got other questions. How do you receive a mail-in ballot before it was actually mailed out? How do you receive a mailed-in ballot with 0 creases in it, Erica? What kind of envelope do you use?
Magic. We cannot be friends unless you allow me to blurt out random songs that pertain to what you're talking about.
I love what you're saying. But I think every state should do an audit. Every person that hears this should demand an audit from their state, regardless. Just to hold the son of a bitches accountable. That's what you're doing.
Plus, every state gives you a true picture.
That's right.
You can't have an accurate assessment and call it a fair or unfair election unless every county that was involved in that election gets their panties dropped.
That's right.
Sorry.
Not sorry. A recount is bullshit. If you just recount what votes are there, that don't mean jack shit. Verify that votes are legit.
And I got a chance to read it because Joey sent it to me literally as we were coming back home from dinner. But it was something about one of the places the recount was wrong, like it was off or something. So
Georgia.
And again, Georgia.
Georgia is a train wreck.
Oh my God.
There's only
places like that need a forensic audit. Technically, they all do. But can we get a recount across the board, please? For the love of all that's holy. I want it all. No, I want it all. I want it all. And I want it now.
That's why Biden came to your neighborhood yesterday to try to prevent the audit in Pennsylvania.
Listen, Biden wasn't here.
What?
Biden wasn't here.
Well, sure he was. It was on the news.
Where? What news?
It was on all the networks. Biden was in Philadelphia espousing how wonderful this election was, how all the recounts have shown he's the winner, and 150 people voted, and he won the most secure, and that's what he said, 150 people voted. I think he meant to say 150 million people voted, which if Trump got 75 million, that means Biden got 75 million, so he's already give up 6 million since the election. That stupid ass don't know what he's even talking about anymore.
No, it's called Common Core, Tony. Don't nothing add up.
That was Obama shit.
he put that shit into effect so people would be brainwashed by 2021. So when shit wasn't adding up, hopefully they just would look the other way. It just fell by.
That's exactly what they did.
That's not how that works.
No.
You're not gonna pull a mandolin effect on me. Mandela effect, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah,
but you know,
I can't mandolin your ass, but I'll banjo you. So.
Not mandolin. I meant Mandela. My bad. So listen, you want to hear something even more ironic? Today on Facebook Memories, a memory popped up, and you know, they've had us so worked up with this virus and shit. People would technically believe that all this started, that the bullshit started in 2020. You know, end of 2019, beginning of 2020. But that's not true. It didn't start with a virus. It technically started with the aliens. Remember the Area 51 shit? There was Storm Area 51? Okay. That's what started it. Like, the bullshit arena started in 2019, a year ago around this time. So it wasn't the virus. The virus was just the thing they could use to keep everybody in. The mass hysteria started with the bullshit. The storm was just, let's just see what story we can come up with next that they may buy that's actually a blockbuster hit already.
They tried like hell to get everybody to go to Roswell. They were so trying in the media. Oh, everybody's going to storm it. You should do it. All the cool kids are doing it.
Yeah. And then it comes out and like not a lot of people showed up, and come to find out it's supposed to be like a music festival thing, and I was like, you know what? Y'all are on like some major bullshit. And then bam, COVID started being the thing that was on the news that a lot of people weren't listening to.
That's right.
They weren't listening.
You knew it was coming. We both knew. We were ready.
Listen, I said it before. I was standing in a room with about 100 people watching stuff unfold at Wuhan Lab and everything else. Me and maybe 3 other people in that room were keyed in as to what was going on, right?
That's right.
2 weeks later, here we are shut down. Everybody's like, I didn't see that coming. I'm like, bitch, you was standing right by the... you really don't pay attention. You'd be dead if somebody was sneaking up on you. Like, you don't pay attention. Like, 2 weeks ago, we were talking about, where the fuck were you?
You know, we mentioned Q on the last talk we had. I was talking about what his logic has taught me more logically. Do you know what he's probably done most for me is he's brought my faith back in my spiritual way, because I drifted away from that. And that's what I think that socialism, communism pushes you away from having faith in a higher being or God or whatever you want to call it that you choose to call it. And that's one thing that keeps putting back. But you need more proof of God than lightning striking that George Floyd mural on a wall. Take it out of a wall today.
Listen, Linda. So here's what happened this morning. So like I wake up and I slept in the last 2 mornings I've actually gotten to sleep in. So I get up and I get my stuff done. I've meditated and I'm praying and I'm like, man, I'm going to need a sign that I'm just not losing it. I'm going to need a sign that there is more to this. I'm going to need a sign that this isn't just you, God, being a big-ass kid with an ant farm just shaking shit up because you're bored. Like, I need some kind of sign, you know? I open Instagram. First post I see, Donald Trump Jr. I'm like, hashtag God, here's my sign. Already stamping out bullshit. Just, I mean, an entire wall. Gone.
What a lightning strike. I've never seen a lightning strike take out a wall of a building like that before.
Me either. I don't know that we'll ever see it again, though, Tony.
Again, I'd like to introduce you to my friend HARP and the fact that we've had weather modification patents since 1891. US.
Hey, how's the weather there, other than hot?
Rain and hot. It's rained every day for I don't know how long. Like 40 days, 40 nights. You know, the ARC landed on air fat, I think on 18th of July, maybe. Coming up.
God. Oh, Lord. it's been really hot here. Like, and Saturday, the high's like 93 with like pop up scattered showers and thunderstorms all day. I'm like, so what the fuck am I supposed to just do? Wear a thong? Like, just run around naked? Like, just run around in a damn bikini all day? Like, it's supposed to be 93, but I can't be outdoors because I'm just gonna be wet all damn day.
What people don't realize either is because you're in the city. A 93 in the city is miserable because you get all the reflection from the blacktop, the buildings, the concrete, the cars. So 93, I mean, around here, 93, I'm miserable. Trust me. A fat boy does not like heat. I've been in Phoenix and it's been 110 degrees and people, it's a dry heat. No, it's still hot, dumbass. 110 degrees. It's still 110 degrees. I don't care if it's dry or humid. It's hot.
It is, but it does feel different.
Parking lot just takes your breath, man.
Let me tell you what happened to me the other day. So there's a bar just right up the road from us, right? And, like a Miller Lite bottle cap, just off of a glass bottle, laying in the road. Well, I'm one of those people, when I see bottle caps, I kick them. Tony went to kick it, and it didn't move, and I was like, So I bent down, and I, took because I was going to get in the car, so I took my car key. A car had hit it and flattened it just a smidge, and it was so hot, it had become one with the asphalt.
With that, yep, melted into it.
I was like, I'm going back inside. Screw that. I was like, I don't need nothing that bad today. Nope. Back to the AC.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I've become rather soft with the air conditioning.
Listen, we keep the house so cold. I'll go out to smoke and have one hoodie. I'll have on a full hoodie, get up and walk outside like, God, I'm dying. And my neighbors just look at me and I'm thinking, dude, it's 40 degrees in my apartment.
Just look at me and say, I gotta hang meat in apartments. They
gonna keep fucking with me. I'm gonna start growing my own weed. I can't keep up with I can't keep my dudes quick enough. I'm just gonna start growing.
I was at Lowe's today and they had a chest freezer that I swear to God was 7 foot long. And I'm sitting thinking, why would you need a freezer that long? And it has to be bodies. That's all I could think of. Yeah. This is our Jeffrey Dahmer version.
Oh my God, Tony! Are you kidding? Listen, the next time you go in there, I need you to take a picture of it.
All right, I will.
Please send that to me because I need to see this.
It's 7 foot freezer. I can lay down in it. I promise you.
Heck, you could put 1.5 of me in there.
Oh God, more than that.
Well, long ways because I'm 5'2".
If I stacked you just right, I could probably get 15 of you in there.
Well, I meant just head to toe. You can do head to toe. Yeah, because I'm 5'2", so. Definitely. Jesus Christ, who needs a 7-foot freezer?
I was looking at it thinking, how the hell would you get that in your house? I'd have to go in a garage. It couldn't go in a house.
See, I almost said something, and I had to stop myself.
But I'm sitting there thinking, man, that'll hold a Black Angus real good.
You said Jeffrey Dahmer edition, and I was thinking, I wonder if they had any on Wayfair. I know.
That's where all the pedos shop, Wayfair, baby.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. God bless. That is some creepy. That is creepy. That is really creepy to think about. Wow, Tony. Why do you got to go and tell me that?
Now we'll have to take a picture of it for you.
Yes, I do need a picture. So what was the thing you were telling me about going on in Canada with the melting? What did you see?
Wildfire and lightning storm come through that basically just melted the whole town. It's gone.
What do you mean? Keep talking. You talk. I'm going to look it up.
Similar things have happened out in California. Wildfires come through. Wildfires do not melt engine blocks. They do not melt cars. all the way to the ground and just turn them into molten metal. That would have to be one hell of a hot fire to do that kind of stuff. I don't understand it. I don't know the name of the town. I'll look up the links and tell you what it is. But it's a wildfire and lightning strikes in Canada and absolutely destroyed the whole town. Just melted the town.
Okay, so I found an article from the Independent UK. Melting homes, shrunken shoes, and wrapped candles. U.S. and Canada heat wave in pictures. Temperatures have been so high that people's homes and belongings have warped. The record-breaking heat wave in Canada and U.S. is believed to have killed hundreds of people.
When you're pushing an agenda of climate change, what do you need to make happen? You need the extreme weather shifts happening. You need rain every day. You need extreme heat waves. You need wildfires. All that shit needs to happen to convince people. Yeah, man, there's a problem.
Okay, so RollingStone.com, if it will load. From 5 days ago, July 9th, mayor of Canadian town destroyed by wildfires writes heartbreaking letter to residents. Okay, so apparently at Lytton, British Columbia, on Thursday, July 1st, a wildfire that forced people to flee a small town in British Columbia that had set record high temperatures for Canada on 3 consecutive days burned out of control Thursday as relatives desperately sought information on evacuees. Wow. Wow. The 44-mile-per-hour winds fed the fires and scattered embers through the valley, while taking the water that they were trying to spray on it from the hoses away from it.
And what's really weird,
because
Erica,
the winds were so high.
When you're making steel, you need to take coal that's been turned into coke to have a fire hot enough to melt steel.
Right.
Wood wildfires are melting steel and stuff. It just does not make sense to me.
Well, you ready for this? In the heartbreaking letter that Polderman wrote, he warned residents that even if their homes are among the few that are still standing, the town's infrastructure, including power, water, and sewage, was all destroyed, leaving little to come back to. What has been melted, this is a direct quote, what has not been melted, incinerated, or damaged beyond repair has been compromised to the point of being unsafe, wrote the mayor. And with the Emergency Operations Center destroyed, he wrote, they are currently trying to operate it from a couple of laptops, an iPad, and our cell phones.
Once again, I'd like to bring you to the attention of HARP and weather modification. I'd like to talk to you about lasers shooting from satellites starting wildfires. Lasers that are hot enough to melt metals. Do your own research. Tom will tell you.
What blew up in Texas or caught on fire? Wasn't that last week that something, you sent it to me or I saw it, something was on fire? Wasn't it in Houston?
Iran had a, quote, oxygen cylinder in a hospital exploded and burnt the damn hospital to the ground. There was also a big, Bangladesh, a big explosion and fire, and I can't remember anything in Texas. Oh, there was a...
No, I'm looking at it. Electrical substation?
Oh, yeah.
You know what it was?
I thought that was interesting because if I...
Now watch this. That was on July 9th. That was on July 9th, like just a few days after all the crap in Canada.
Yeah. Coincidence.
No.
That's all it is, just coincidence.
There's no such thing as coincidences, Tony.
You're right. I believe that. Everything happens for a reason.
Everything's connected. It's connected. Yeah. I mean, once again, this message brought to you by HARP. It's connected.
I hope anybody listens to this goes and looks up weather modification. And we've touched on weather modification at just about every video we've done. Because it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
We dance around it, or we do like a little salsa with it, and then we go away. We tango, and then we go away. But today I will drop a link on some weather mods, some of my favorite starting points to get you guys going, because God, I have so many. There's so many. It's like, ooh, which nugget do I give you? So I will definitely drop some great starters on weather modifications for those of you that are scared to jump into it for research but want to. I'll give you some little baby steps.
If you have questions that it's happening, that lasers and stuff aren't happening, go look at pictures in California wildfires. Explain to me how cars, buildings, there'll be one house left standing perfectly right in the middle with trees around it, but right on the street beside the house, there's a car burned to a crisp. Trees aren't going to survive that. House is not going to survive that. If it's doing that kind of heat and damage, it's going to get that house and stuff. But if it's a controlled laser, oh shit. But we just didn't sweep that area good enough.
You know, it is one of those things that makes you go,
And I've seen videos of lasers. You can see the lasers coming down, so don't know if they're true or not, but it's enough to make me wonder.
There's so much going on, but I still have to get my butt to DC to see what I can see. And you know, this weekend with rain on the forecast, it really makes me want to go to DC.
Might as well. It's raining here every day. It don't matter.
Well, I just want to see where the water's rising too. Where are we really having a lot of water issues?
Good question.
They've done a lot of under. Go ahead, sorry.
We've been getting a lot of rain coming straight north and going on the radar. You watch it go straight up, which is really weird for our area because all of our weather usually comes from the west or the southwest and brushes up. So I've been watching how the weather patterns go, and it does happen. It's not that it doesn't happen, just not very common that you see it. And I've seen it quite a bit this year, just straight up north and south, or south to north.
Mm-hmm.
Which that would cause a lot of flooding up north, and DC and all that is northeast of me. So actually, it's a little more east than north.
It's quite interesting.
Definitely interesting.
Definitely interesting. So let's wrap up here and give me your quick thoughts on everything that's going on with the vaccine and this VARS site that is out there, this reporting site, or VAERS, however, it's kind of like Vona
VAERS. People call it VARS. My mom sent me another link of that tonight. So far, there have been a total of 484,000 adverse reactions to the COVID vaccine. Now, an adverse reaction can be as simple as sneezing, a mild rash, a sore arm. Those can be marked as adverse reactions. But it's the death count. The number I sent you was what, 7,480?
It's up there in the high thousands, getting close to having two numbers before the death or before the comma.
It's almost to the level of the true COVID deaths because they overreported COVID really bad. We all know. Yeah,
everything that died was hell. It could have been a fly that literally got smacked and COVID. No, COVID. That was my shoe.
But
my shoe was the cause of death.
Incentivize hospitals and doctors to say COVID. You're going to pay them money. Cancer's gone, heart attacks are gone, stroke's gone. Everybody's COVID because we're getting money for that shit. That's just how that works. But now they got the Delta variant, which is really weird. It's affecting the people that have been vaccinated the most. So why have a vaccine if it's not going to protect you from?
Because you have a fighting chance. You have a better fighting chance.
The human body is 99.7% chance you won't die from COVID. That's your immune system. You can take things to help your immune system. The vaccine, at best, is 94, 95%. So I take my chances with my own body, as far as that goes. I'll take my quercetin and zinc and keep my immune built up. But anybody that would put that poison in their body, expect to be well, is in deep trouble. Now they're pushing Australia, France. France is starting at the end of July. Vaccine passport is required to even buy groceries. So if you're unvaccinated in France, you can't buy groceries. I seem to recall some little story in a book called the Bible about a mark of a beast, that kind of stuff. You take it however you want to take it, believe it or don't believe it. That's your choice. But my opinion is, if you have to have something like that, they require it so you could even buy food for survival. Something bad going on, or some evil intentions going on there.
Well, yes,
Australia,
because they're trying to control everything,
yeah,
and they're also trying to get on these synthetic and unrealistic things passed and snuck in. So yeah, they're going to try to push the envelope in any way they can. But in the UK, they're going to get away with it a lot quicker, unfortunately. They're already
Australia's
kind of
doing the
set
same.
up for it.
Australia is doing the same thing. Vaccine passports are going to be required to do anything. I'm not getting a vaccine. I would strongly suggest anybody that has any sense not to get one. Some people are scared. I understand you're scared. But really stop and look and think of how many people you know of that truly died of COVID. Not healthy people don't live in nursing homes. We know that. So you can't mark out them nursing home deaths, COVID deaths. Yeah, COVID might have been the nail in the coffin, but if you're there with stage 4 cancer, you had comorbidities. You were dying. COVID just sped it up. And I'm not being cold, I'm being honest.
Well, some people need to use their heart less. Not saying that they're heartless, but they need to think with their head and not be so damn emotional. Logic needs to outweigh the emotion. To be a little more heartless. It's 2 words, not the 1 word. 2 separate words. Stop using that heart so much. Sometimes you got to shut that shit down because feelings will have you doing some dumb shit. Feelings will have you out slashing somebody's tires because you think they cheating on you. Go home and use some logic, because that's how some of y'all look and sound running around with politics. Some of y'all really suck at politics. Politics is the art of coming to an understanding of what could work best for everyone. Some of y'all, it is okay to disagree. It is also okay not to like everybody and not have a beef. Like, that is actually a thing. Can we normalize that, please? Because we have normalized some clown ass shit in the last 10 years. It's gotten really out of hand. So can we just get back to normalizing cool shit? Like, let's agree to disagree and all be adults.
Yeah, just because we disagree doesn't mean we're racist, misogynistic, any of the other words that there are. We just don't have to agree on everything, because life would be boring if you agreed with somebody all the time. Would you want to be in a marriage where everything was just rosy perfect every day and everything agreed? That would suck.
Where's the fun in that?
Exactly. You have to have the opposites attract thing. It's an old saying, but if Joey was just like you, would you want to be with him all the time? Hell no.
No, that shit would get old. I don't even want to be with me all the time.
I want somebody that compliments me. I want somebody that you grow with, that they have interests and I have interests. We can have interests together, and that's fine with me. That's the problem. Is everybody thinks you have to have this perfect cookie cutter view of politics and that, and it's not the way it is.
No, because no 2 people are going to see things the same, because most things have to be an experience. Until you experience it, you don't know. It's a hope, a wish, and a fart of how you would react in it.
Right.
So everything has to be delicately dealt with in the political arena and in the life arena, because most things some people are never going to experience. Never. Like Joey and I were having to talk the other day. I was like, you'll never know what it's like to be Black while dealing with corporate America, but I will. I can talk on that. You can't. I was like, you cannot effectively have an opinion or even begin to know what that's like. I said, or while being a woman and Black in corporate America, dealing with whitey. I was like, you'll never fucking understand that dimension. So just take a seat. I got this. I've been doing it for a minute. Like, I got this. But
You're a black woman? Who the hell is this?
I know, right? But that's what dumbass people see that. They forget that I'm just me. It is what it is. But like I made a new friend the other day on Facebook, all because of he dropped this meme and it was funny. And somebody was like, "Your sense of humor is so dark." He's like, "Yeah, I know." He's like, "The cops won't even shoot it." I started dying. Like I'm reading the comment thread and I start laughing and they're like, "I can't believe you laughed at that." I'm like, "That's funny." I was like, "I'm sorry, my sense of humor is just as dark." Like,
hey, can you imagine Richard Pryor in today's world? Oh my God!
Oh, he'd already been hung. They'd lynched his ass already. Him and Red Fox.
Oh God, Red Fox. Awesome. He was great.
He was. God, those are the days.
Yeah. Well, you can't have good comedy anymore.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
They're
just have to suck it the fuck up.
If somebody says something that isn't, quote, politically correct, and you feel it's hate speech, the problem probably lies in yourself. Somebody's not coming out and saying something to you and being cruelly mean. And if they are, then you don't need those people in your life. And you just go away. It's not something that's hate speech. You need to call the cops and all this. No, you need to grow the fuck up, shuck it off, learn from it, go on. But people, they get butthurt about stuff so bad. It's just terrible.
Well, you know what the magic word is to get what you want nowadays. I'm offended.
I'm a victim.
Temper tantrum.
You're right.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It's sad. Well, T, I'm going to let you go because, God, I feel like there's still so much that we missed. Because yesterday in itself, hell, it was a whole damn page of shit that happened. I mean,
watch tomorrow and Saturday is all I'm going to tell you.
Well, all I have to say is this. We're going to Zoom again this week. It's going to happen. That way we stay on top of things.
Tomorrow night I'll be heading towards Pennsylvania.
Nice.
Friday, and I'll be back in here Saturday morning. If it quit raining long enough, please let me cut my grass, man. I'm at the balance. I'm just going to go buy goats and put them in the
backyard. You might be better off. Then at least you would have like milk and like there's so many different things that they would provide.
Yeah, well, remember how I had all that creek bank mowed off? You can see 12-Pole Creek so pretty and all. It's growed up, and I'm just disgusted. And the flooding's coming in logs, and I've worked so much, I haven't had time to clean it. So frustrating. We'll get there.
Then when you're home, it's raining. So yeah.
Yeah, it's raining.
Thanks, HARP.
All right. My grass brought to me by HARP.
Oh, T. Well, listen, you get you some rest, and we'll keep watch for the good people on what nuggets and plugs might be of,
One more thing, Erica.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I sent you a link before the show started for the synthetic beef.
I saw it.
From Cow's House. Add that link in this video. People
I saw it.
See that shit.
Listen, I'm going to say this name and I want you to put it in your mind because I want it to be the first thing we talk about when we come back to our next Zoom, okay? So imagine it. West Virginia, Lesage at that, is getting its first growing legal pot facility. And her name is Kim Rivers, who is the CEO of a Florida-based company. Why does a Florida-based company have the first rights to legal growing marijuana in the state of West Virginia? That's the question for next week. Next Zoom. Because it'll be in a couple days.
Also look and see who's a big investor on it.
Well, I was trying to find that for the show. I couldn't find it quick enough. So I was like, we'll make this the last point. So it's the next point. That's first.
He might be a senator.
Oh, does his name start with an M?
I think it does.
Because he owns a lot of greenhouses and land already in West Virginia, so that would make sense.
And you get a license by paying the most money to start that in this state.
Food for thought. keep it rocking, guys, and always keep those eyes open. But like I said, we're going to talk about Kim Rivers starting first. I'm going to take it back home, and we're going to break down what's going on there. Why that company got the first bid, the first license, the first
anything. Because I promise
anything.
you, a bunch of people around here know how to grow pot. I promise you.
Nope, right? If you're from West Virginia, you know how to grow pot, raise your hand. If you're from West Virginia, you know how to distill liquor, raise your hand. If you know how to farm,
run a trout line.
You can run a trout line and you know, all that other stuff. I'm proud to be from West Virginia, so I'll raise my hand. Because see, I got taught to do a lot of things because, well, we just kind of fend for ourselves. We're a lot independent, so keep it rocking. Get you some rest, T. It's late. It's so late, and there's so many more subjects that I want to get on, but I can't. My brain is like, it's about to explode.
Love you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Love you too. I will chat with you later. Have a good one. Woo. Yeah, I know. We talked about a lot. But Kim Rivers, who is she associated with? Guess you'll just have to go find out for yourself, unless you want to wait till the next Illuminate. Right here, same time, same place. Oh, that's right. You just made it through another segment of Illuminate, the conspiracy theorist or realist with Tony J and myself, Erica Parrótt. Yep. Those top 3 pages is where you can find some really cool nuggets and also some really great in-depth blogs. You never know what you might find. So go check out those pages, and I'll see you on Facebook, where I keep it real, keep you laughing, and all that fun stuff on my personal page there, Erica Parrótt. And what will happen next in this crazy thing called, I don't know, life? Well, who knows? But either way, Illuminate is back, and we'll be dishing about it right here. So if you haven't done it already, go ahead, subscribe, and please click that bell. You know why? Because I don't know when I'm going to drop new content at this point. But if you click the bell, you'll never miss out. And don't forget, you hold the key to your release. Love ya.